I've heard stories and stories and stories of people that have stepped up and really become heroes through this whole thing. Boat captains driving to St. Croix and to Puerto Rico to get relief supplies, get people on and off the island. There's raw emotion that you can't describe. You can feel it. You can feel it as you walk through the streets. You can feel it as you embrace somebody you haven't seen. It's unlike anything that I've ever been able to experience. Even talking through the phone to somebody that was here or asking me to get somebody on a plane to get them out, you can cut the tension with a knife. It's unbelievable. I've never experienced anything quite like it. The true colors and the true emotion of everybody is it's on their sleeve. Their heart is just right there. It's pretty crazy.
To a deserving family on St. John, my name is Chase Stoller and I'm 10 years old. I wanted to donate these generators to a family that lives on my favorite vacation spot. I also want you to know that we are praying for your family. Hope this generator brings a little bit of comfort. We would like to keep in touch with you and perhaps meet you sometimes later. Love City Strong. Love Chase.
Yeah,
that's sweet. That's awesome.
Virgin Islands Relief Fund started about 12 hours before Hurricane Irma made landfall in the U.S. Virgin Islands. We started making phone calls, a group of individuals and myself, more or less a grassroots effort. Myself being a carpenter, we had a boat captain, a construction worker, and an ER nurse that unknowingly were kind of working our way towards connecting with one another. We started calling tool companies and relief efforts before the storm hit, knowing what was in store for the islands, trying to find if we can get any sort of donations jump-started before there was any effect. It was a slow effort, but something that definitely helped us in the long run. And as we kept going and trying to find different avenues for help to get to the islands, which are obviously pretty far removed from the mainland of the U.S., we kind of ran into this team of individuals that was dedicated to the same cause. We definitely wanted to focus a lot of our efforts on the younger community of St. John and St. Thomas.
My name is Julie Joseph, and I am here in the capacity of administrator of the school, St. John Christian Academy. Immediately after Irma, we came down to the school, and part of our building roof was gone. The yard was filled with debris, trees had fallen down, we had flooding. Of course, the rooms that the roof came off, all our equipment and our supplies were totally soaked and damaged, had to be discarded. A lot of our students have relocated. They would be begging us to get back to school. And of course, we encouraged them and told them as soon as we can.
We were able to provide them with, again, some semblance of normalcy, and we were able to give them food, snacks for the kids, toys, arts and crafts supplies, power, help them with some of the rebuilding process.
And at the time, we were not even sure where the source of this was. Then we found out later that it came from the Virgin Island Relief Fund. A member of the team came by and it advised us that, we could come over to where they're set up. And we went over there, and the people were very gracious to us. And they just asked us what are some of the things we needed. And from medication to lighting to snacks, just things that they thought our children needed, toys and things like that. And it was really gratifying to see that.
And that was probably one of the most touching experiences that I've had in the entire relief effort. To see the emotion on somebody's face and the true thought of God's blessing, that somebody was there to help them. It was pretty remarkable. I've never experienced somebody so thankful and so happy with any sort of help. We're able to provide St. John's School of the Arts with power and some relief supplies that are going to help the kids get back to a regular routine. And being as it's an art school, a lot of their focus is on dance, music, arts and crafts. So we've been able to provide them with a little bit more of what they need to make their school curriculum work for the year.
They've started repairing a lot of it, but the roof over the stage flew off, so everything flooded. They've redone that. Everything was moldy, the grand piano, everything is pretty much destroyed. So they're just having to refinish the entire space, and they had to seal the roof. And so we're getting all of that done, which we also needed the generator for, so that we can reopen and the kids can come in and have fans and be able to enjoy class without being in mold. And we wouldn't be able to do it without them, honestly. So it's just a godsend that they brought those for us and we're able to do that. We really, really are so happy.
Someone, when I first moved to St. John, told me it takes a unique individual to live in St. John, and it takes a very unique individual to live in Coral Bay.
I'm Sharon Coldren, the volunteer president of the Coral Bay Community Council. We're a 501c3 nonprofit public charity that was organized in 2003 to help with building community here in Coral Bay and to help us have infrastructure that was environmentally appropriate.
Getting there is not easy, and it's apparent there's not as much development, but it's something that the locals, myself included, there's a natural beauty to it. It's an untouched piece of paradise. It's a small town.
Trying to figure out what we have and getting it to the people who most need it is the challenge here.
We're headed out to Coral Bay in St. John, going to the Coral Bay Community Council building. Right across from that, we're going to set up our trailer with all the relief supplies from the Virgin Island Relief Fund. They were all donated by people throughout the U.S. We're going to get them set up over there for distribution starting tomorrow.
There's one road in and one road out, and particularly after the storm, it was next to impossible to access.
Relief supplies that all kinds of organizations intended to get here within a few days after Irma got delayed because of Hurricane Jose and Hurricane Maria, so that we're only now, 6-7 weeks since the first disaster, beginning to get supplies from the outside that weren't airlifted in.
It was about 3 days before somebody walked from the other side of the island, about 8.5 miles on a windy road and elevation changes up to 1,000 feet, to let the people of Cruz Bay know that people were hurting in Coral Bay.
1 o'clock tomorrow, there will be things ranging from solar lanterns to batteries to flashlights to food. I do not know how we will deal with the generators. If you have ideas on that, please let me know. What I would really like is your help identifying the people who lost everything.
The access to the town of Coral Bay was next to impossible. It took weeks and weeks in order to clear the roads. A lot of individuals here that were on island for the storms took upon themselves to make sure that they can get over there and made it a priority to help the people of Coral Bay. And although the scenery and the landscape may have been forever changed by the hurricane, the people still have not been. And that is what most visitors come to interact with. There's a community in these islands that you can't compare to anywhere else in the world. We work hard and we play hard, and we have a bond with one another that you can't really describe.